Is she well enough to take minutes?
I don't know.
Wow.
You can do it.
Jealous.
That is one thing I cannot do. One of many things I can't do.
Okay, good.
Oh,
7:30.
boy, what happened to you?
I was
And
ice skating
Oh,
and trying to do a jump.
there's Neil.
cut it out.
Okay. Good.
Really?
All
Yeah, I
right.
take figure skating lessons.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you can leave it. Can you take the things out and put them on the
Oh,
table?
let's,
Can you
yeah.
be-
Yes, I can
Can I delegate that
handle that.
Okay.
And I know how they're supposed to
I'd like you to
go.
give guidance.
I know how they're supposed to go.
Okay.
You can guide, I'll just pull and
Place.
Right. Okay.
you can,
And between the two of us, we'll know what everything is.
We know
Yeah.
everything.
This is very useful.
Let's see. Let me turn our video on. And then off for our background. Hi, everybody. We're, we had to come in. There was another meeting in this room just before us. So we're starting, well, we're getting ready to, just on time. Let's see, do we have a quorum?
Yeah, how many of us are a quorum? We have 4.
4. And do we have anybody online? Penny is online, that's 5, so that's a quorum. We're not expecting Jeff.
I'm not expecting Jeff.
I think Brad will be
Stephen
here
will
in
be here.
person, and I think Stephen will be here.
Yeah.
So, okay. I don't see Roger. I'm sure Roger's,
oh, there's a door.
okay.
Somebody.
Here's somebody pulling in. Who do we have?
Sounds like-
Oh,
it's
Brad.
Brad. All right.
All right.
Brad, you have a distinctive sound.
I thought, there's Dominic.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
look at her.
Um,
Hi, everyone.
How old is she?
She is 10 months.
Oh,
yes. Oh, she is beautiful. Look at her.
darling.
Oh,
my gosh.
All right.
She loves attention and she loves computers, so
Start them young.
Yes. Oh, she's so cute. All right.
So that there's room for people to come.
Neil, do you think Roger's coming?
I believe he is.
Okay, I'll keep watching.
All right, let's, Penny, are you going to be capable of taking minutes?
Yes, from bed.
Yes, that's, from bed is fine. Thank you for doing that. Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting to order at
Does Penny need us to say who's in the room?
yes. Let's see. Let's see. Elaine
7:33,
at 7:43.
33.
33, sorry, 7:33. My computer does not want to boot up for some reason. Okay,
For the record, I can't see everyone who's present in person. For the minutes, can you just, I see Molly and I see Elaine.
Marianne is here, Stephen is here, Brad is here, Dale is here.
Okay.
You are in bed, Molly is here, and I am here. The only one who's missing is Jeff.
Okay, got it, thanks.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of January? There we are, shoot,
23rd.
23rd.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 23rd.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that, Brad.
And if I can get to it, I had one word correction, but Stephen, I'm sure you must have found it.
Which one?
There was a missing word.
And where
Yes.
might that have been?
A minute, it's taking me a minute to open my computer up, sorry. It's in. Now I can't find it. I found it today, but anyway, it was one word and it was a the or something, so it was not important. Did you find any corrections?
Yeah, I sent him to Penny.
Okay,
So
Um,
Stephen had a couple of corrections having to do, as I recall, with update on construction progress. And I wasn't quite sure how to incorporate them because what I wrote is what I recollected. So I
Should
don't. So maybe as a group, we can just look at that. It says Hoyt provided an update. The center wall is almost complete. Rafters on the east side are up and roof sheathing on that side is almost complete. Glue lamp arrived Monday, windows will arrive late February, and that was it. So what else would you like in there, Stephen?
Well, Dominic, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but 2 weeks ago, when we had our site meeting, and then we went to the library, there was no roof sheathing on the east side.
I thought there was, no?
I
No?
don't
Well,
know if it
sent-
was complete. I will have to quickly look at photos, Stephen.
I took a couple of photos. I didn't take photos along the entire east side,
Yeah,
but
it couldn't be.
it wasn't sheathed.
Yeah, no.
I remember, I can remember this, but I had at least
Yeah.
one photo, which I also sent to
Yeah,
Penny.
I believe it's sheathed over the utility areas, the
Okay.
electrical
How about
room.
How
that
about
side.
if I change it to partially sheathed?
Yeah, that sounds. Who can argue with that?
right.
Sounds good.
I wonder if there was a miscommunication with the wall sheathing.
Roof sheathing right there.
Because,
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
these are
and I was looking at it from the road, so I haven't seen it.
from
Yeah.
January sixth, and there's
This
no
was, yeah,
sheathing.
this was in January.
Yeah, there's no sheathing.
July.
There was none.
So
There's not.
I thought there was plywood over the rafters on the east side.
No,
No.
it was only I think the intent of the comment at the time was that the east side wall was sheathed,
Yes,
not that the roof was sheathed.
yes, I agree.
Okay, well, I will delete that then. Okay, I took it out.
Okay, thank you.
So, then later on, Penny asked a question. Why was the east side roof sheathed and not
Right.
the west side? And so that really ought to be taken out
Right,
or reworded so that it's just a question as to why would you?
right.
I'll just delete that.
Okay, right, because that is, the reason is correct. But, the roof wasn't sheathed.
Yeah, okay. I must have just been viewing things optimistically from the road.
And I found the word, it's in that, response from, Dominic, replied that the west side is supported by the glue lamp beams have just been delivered, and should be that have just been delivered, but we're getting rid of that, so,
Okay.
all right.
At the bottom, there are two things in a different font, subcommittee reports, any other unanticipated business. Were those really intended to be there?
No, those have been removed. They were just artifacts.
Okay.
Okay. So now that we've cleared that up, everybody comfortable with it
That's corrected.
as corrected? Vote?
Yes, no, aye.
Down the side.
Foster, aye.
Pool eye.
Jake's eye.
Moss eye.
Paleo, aye. All right,
And Antonellis was not here, so did she abstain?
All abstain. That's what I said. It just sounded
That
different.
sounds-
It sounded
I
like-
picked it up strangely, yeah.
Okay. So, shall we get a quick update on construction progress now? Neil, would you like to do that?
Sure, I'll do my best. As I am aware, framing and sheathing is progressing. I believe that they have got most of the glue lambs in place and the decking on top. They have again been battling weather and wind at the site, so I know they lost a couple of days last week after the storm due to the wind. And I believe that they have begun sheathing the exterior walls on the structure.
There's no decking on the glue lamp, by the way.
Correct.
Well, there might be now, but there wasn't
There
yesterday.
wasn't as of
Yeah,
They
3 o'clock
started,
yesterday.
they started it today.
yeah, I guess
Okay.
they were down on the southwest corner.
Yeah,
Okay. And the windows are expected to be coming
the
in
week of March.
March 10th is when the windows will be coming in.
That should be ready.
Yeah, they should be ready for them.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
The last thing that Mark said yesterday was that they expected the building probably would be fully enclosed by the end of March. Did you hear that also? Yeah, fingers crossed. That was, the timeline that we were given. And that they would present a new, updated schedule, construction schedule at that time.
Okay.
And once that is complete, we will schedule a time that this committee will go over and be able to walk the property and see it. We will probably schedule that for 5 o'clock time when construction has stopped, but we will still be able to see. And so it'll be the end of March, hopefully.
The end.
Yes.
The days will be longer. So we'll have. to
Yeah,
go
I
out.
know.
Well, the
I know.
time goes
I'm
by.
very eager to get
On
on
the
the site
ninth.
myself,
Yeah,
you know, being as all
I know, and we brought it up, and that was their suggestion, that we wait, you know, another month or so, and then the days will be longer. More, the ice will be gone, there's a lot
Yes,
of
there's
ice,
a lot of ice out there.
yeah. So, okay,
Yeah. Anything else on the construction progress? That people would like to know, or?
Well, I'll ask the perennial question to perhaps Neil. How many weeks behind schedule are we at this point?
So Penny, I was gonna interject and say that I did receive a text message from Mary Ann requesting the contractor's latest updated schedule. I went back and checked the project records, and the last schedule that we have from the contractor was submitted in early December, which I assume this committee has already seen. But I
Yes.
did re-forward it to Mary Ann as the most current information that we have available. I am hesitant to try to put a number on it directly in the absence of a more recent schedule update from the contractor. I can tell you that if they, and I believe we spoke in early January, that we were looking at somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks behind schedule at that point in time. And I can only tell you that in my estimation, based on what I've seen and observed, they certainly have not gained time since we last spoke about it. So I'm expecting that the impact is probably somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks at this point in time, but that is very speculative on my part and is not based at all on any information that's been provided by the contractor. I did reach out to them, and as I said to Mary Ann earlier, I will continue to reach out to them until we can obtain an updated schedule, and when we get it, we will provide it to the committee.
Thank you.
Yeah. They keep saying that once the building is closed in, it's going to go much more quickly. They're having trouble, obviously, with the weather. But they kind of knew that this was the weather they were going to be working in, although it is a snowier, funkier winter than we usually have. So,
Coldest in 10 years.
yep.
That's the big factor.
Okay. So let's talk about texture and color choices. To be presented by Dominic.
Thank you, Elaine.
Yeah,
Marianne, am I able to share? Yes, I am. Thank you.
I have a new Zoom account and, oh, look at that. I do know how to use it.
Everybody can see that? Great.
Yeah.
So we, through the construction process, we have been reviewing submittals that have been coming in from the contractor. So the reason to present today is twofold. One, to review the exterior entry sign, which is rolled into a submittal package. And the other is to review some interior finishes, which is also rolled into a finish submittal that we are looking to get approval from the committee today, so that we can close that out and submit on that. So let me start with the entry sign. So during design, we located an entry sign next to the entry drive at Leverett Road. We relied on our landscape architect to really design this and make decisions on placement. And it was proposed at that point that we had a sign that faced Leverett Road face out. So single-sided sign that would face Leverett Road. Since construction has started, the position of this sign has been questioned. And so we reached out to our landscape architect to come up with a scheme where this sign might be rotated 90 degrees, be perpendicular to Leverett Road, be double-sided, and therefore potentially be viewed from further distances. The intent for a flat facing, let's say, to Leverett Road, single-sided, would be that once you get close to the entry, you are able to read it. If you were to have double-sided, you might be able to make that out at a greater distance to the library entry. So this is what we had initially. So front-facing, it looks to be 8 to 10 feet from the roadside. And this is what we currently own in the contract documents. So it's a 6-foot sign, 6 foot wide. It's about 3'4" tall. And it's primarily comprised of weathered steel panel, and it would be stainless steel lettering that would be mounted to that. So again, single-sided. It is attached to posts at the back. The question was, what if it were to be double-sided and perpendicular to Leverett? Same location, similar size. And so our landscape architect has worked through these drawings whereby we now have still weathered steel face, but double-sided. It would be assembled it would be constructed off-site and be assembled on-site. So it's a double-sided weather steel plate you can see here in section. The two sides are anchored at 3 locations. where you can see it here in the plan, if you can see my cursor here. It would allow this assembly, so the finished sign assembly, to slip onto a post assembly that would be installed on site. So fairly, I like this design for the ease of installation. I think what we're looking here is, same finish, similar scope, but you're really doubling this weathered steel plate. The intent was to present this to you, get a sense of the finish, and if it meets your liking, then we would go to the contractor to price. We foresee that there would be an add cost because of the double-sided sign type. I also want to mention that in revisiting this design, our landscape architect decided to include a concrete base condition to allow the sign to sit above the planting or, the grass that would be surrounding that sign. So it's 18 inches off the finished grade. Yeah, a little bit larger to incorporate the lettering. So 7 foot wide, 4'6" tall here. We do have
Penny,
an, yeah,
Penny
sorry.
has a-
Penny, I'll take
Penny?
your question.
Yeah, I'm trying to visualize when you say weathered steel, what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any
Right.
perception. I'm thinking rust, but I'm sure that's not what you have in mind.
This is an example of weathered steel. We think it looks very handsome. We've used similar finishes on other projects. Our landscape architect designed this for the Lovell Field Library, I believe it is, in Weymouth. Yeah, it's again, very nice finish, long lasting, and is a very nice background to stainless steel lettering. So there's good contrast there.
Thanks.
Yep.
Dale?
So, Dominic, so will we have white lettering on our sign as well?
It would be stainless steel.
Oh, stainless steel.
Yeah. And I'm not sure exactly on the thickness, like 3/8, something like that. There's not a 3D kind of structure to the lettering, so they're not standoff letters. They're going to kind of be flat panel and epoxied onto the sign.
Reactions from the committee?
Looks good to me.
I like it.
It's
I
okay.
love it. And I like that, and I hope that making it double-sided and perpendicular to the road isn't cost prohibitive.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think otherwise you'll only be able to see the sign when you're coming from the.
Highway department.
Well, from the highway.
Yeah,
But I mean,
exactly.
you won't, like, if you're coming from this side of town, you won't be able to see it because it's on the other side of the driveway.
Really,
Right.
really. It should be perpendicular to the road.
Yeah.
I totally support that,
Thank
no
you.
matter what the cost.
That was right.
Another fundraiser.
Looks like it'll be long lasting,
Yeah.
robust.
Yes,
Right.
yes. It does look long lasting.
Just-
Dominic,
Yes.
in your plan, can you point out?
Site plan?
Yes. Where is the utility pole that's
Yeah.
gonna be on our side?
On the other
That's
side.
so on the other side here.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dominic, where's the stone wall?
It's up here. So
Okay.
let me go to a larger scale plan. So the civil engineer surveyed that starting around this location here where my cursor is. So
Okay.
there is a good open section here before you get to the sign.
All right, excellent.
Looks good. All right.
Great. So we will submit that this week to the
Okay.
contractor, and we'll get pricing on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next, I wanted to touch on interior finishes, and apologies for not being there with you in person. Thank you to Elaine,
We have
Marianne,
them
and Stephen.
here.
You
We
have
have
them
everything
laid out. Great.
Yes.
So we
Um,
wanted to touch on a couple of things. We have already discussed flooring with you guys, and we've submitted on those. We're now looking at millwork finishes. So we have two primary millwork pieces. There are some other countertops throughout the library. The teens has a computer counter. We have a study carrel in adults that has a millwork counter as well. We'll be finishing those in maple. So there is an example of maple veneer in front of you. We just so fairly standard. We like the maple finish. We use it on all our projects, and hard wearing. We will have solid edge banding, so solid maple edge banding at the kind of those points at which you get high contact for those counters. But so other than those kind of secondary millwork pieces, we wanted to focus on the kitchenette in the meeting room and then the service desk.
Wait a minute, we have the cert desk. Oh, here it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do the kitchenette
You want to
first.
do the kitchenette first?
Yes. So I'll start there. And here I wanted to give you again a section through the building. So we're looking at the east side, the high wall, the tall wall that's the spine of the building. And just give you a sense of where we're going. We didn't want to focus on color today. There's still time for that, but we're starting to develop a sensibility for what the different spaces could be as far as the finish and colors. We wanted to celebrate the warmth in the meeting room with the wood tones and allow this wall to be white. So that the kitchenette could kind of fade away somewhat in the finish color. So I'll get to an elevation, but then you can see here the other spaces, kind of entry circulation, looking at teens, has a color choice. It would then change to adults and then again to children's. So just a reference here. Moving into the meeting room. So again, looking at, we would have maple trim, interior trim on the window. We have Douglas fir glue lamps and decking. We have acoustic panels on the upper kind of portion of this spine wall. We do have a sample there in front of you, unfortunately. So they are, what Elaine is holding up there is the acoustic baffles that will be installed between in the structural bays. Elaine is now sharing a sample board of the acoustic panels that will be mounted to the wall. So you can see we didn't want to go white with that. That's a little bit dangerous as far as attracting dust and highlighting kind of, that over time. So we wanted to tie in the warmth of the wood there. So we have that warmer tone for the finish. But again, you can see, white, and so more monochromatic with the kitchenette. So we have a white selection that we like to use on all our projects, the Sherwin-Williams Snowbound wall color. Elaine has that, so you can see that paired with some of the finishes for the kitchenette. I'll go to this elevation so you can get a sense. We have a small kitchen counter, bar fridge, or below counter fridge, sorry, a microwave, so upper cabinetry, some doors, and then lower doors as well. Single sink, and a Corian solid surface countertop, so hard wearing through color material. So you can see the final selections that we're proposing to you and how the cameo white of the Corian solid surface plays along with the white snowbound, the Sherwin-Williams snowbound color. And then we have high pressure laminate, which is from Wilson Art, and we selected the designer white. to go with that. So you see those samples in front of you. I believe that was it for the kitchenette and the meeting room. So open to questions if you have any.
How easy is this stuff to clean when because it's all white and it's,
Corian is easy.
Corian is very.
what about, I'm thinking more of the cabinets. or
Oh,
the-
no, high pressure laminate, so it's Formica, what it is.
Okay,
Very, very cleanable,
okay.
very easy to clean, really.
So like if a toddler wandered over there after finger painting, no
A
problem.
little
No problem.
spray.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably the toughest, and the easiest to clean surface we could have,
Awesome.
That's
And
what
it's
we want
flush.
to hear.
you know, because it's a flush panel.
Yeah, so it doesn't have little,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
No, I think that's what we should have, really.
and
Okay.
if you want to explain, Dominic, the cabinet openings
Sure.
and what happened under the sink also.
Yes, absolutely. So we have push latches. We wanted to stay away from handles, again, to give you a clean finish and not highlight the kitchenette in any way. So we have push latches for all these doors. So I'll go back to the elevation here. Originally, in our drawings, we had these base cabinets, so below the sink, running all the way up to the underside of the counter. We, in our shop drawing review with the mill worker, they found a conflict with the push latches assembly that they were going to install. And so we were hoping that we could install them up high here, so it would be behind the door. But that's in conflict with the sink, and therefore we need to lower the two doors at the sink so that we can get the push latches down here. So the doors here will be a little bit smaller, but you still have the same space under the sink. This is an ADA accessible sink. So these doors actually open up to a full opening underneath and allows a wheelchair to wheel all the way in. And those push latches will be used at all of these cabinets here. So again, you push on the door and then it pops open for you to pull open.
Dominic, I just visited my daughter who has those kind of latches in her high-end kitchen in Wellington, Florida, and half of them don't work half the time. I was very unimpressed with them. I really push for handles.
I'm
I
happy to follow up with the committee on some more information from the mill worker as to the actual push latch that they're using for this job. So if you want some more information about longevity and ease of use, I'm happy to share that with you, Penny,
and if
and the group.
they don't work, can we put handles on them?
I'm sure that can be retrofitted to this kitchenette for sure.
I mean, I would go for practicality here rather than look.
We investigated a different opening system for this, so removing the push latches because of the conflict with the sink. And we revised the detail of the door edges and went back to the mill worker so that you could have a kind of a routed edge at the base of these, so you could actually get your fingers underneath, and similarly at the tops of these doors, so you could just kind of like get your fingers in there and open them with a more normal system. They came back with a extravagant change order, and so we felt that was not the right way to go.
It's another $3,000.
Yeah,
Well, and assumably,
Really.
I know
To do finger
tables.
Yes, 3,000 for.
Well,
tables.
because it is laminate, don't forget, so there's a difference. Because the edges are laminate too,
Yeah.
Right.
but that is, you know.
it's not like you're
that
just
would be an
carving in
issue
a.
with this
Right.
design.
I mean, if there's real intent to stay away from the push latch, could we do a recessed handle? Like kind of a finger pull at doors, that would be somewhat more a minimalistic approach. You know, it's something you have to clean a little more, or, you know, is a little fussy to clean. I
I'm
would,
going to
yeah.
assume that the push latches that the millwork guys are proposing are possibly not the same ones that were used in Penny's daughter's house.
We're hoping for that.
It's a very high-end apartment with a very high-end kitchen, and it was totally frustrating.
Now that,
High-end does
negative?
not always mean well-constructed or they spent a lot of money on making it, I will say that much.
I just vowed I would never have those in a place I lived after spending a week in her apartment.
So Dominic, will you just have a conversation with the mill worker
Absolutely.
and make sure that we have latches that, that he has experience or she has experience with, performing well.
In high use
Absolutely.
area.
In a
Yeah.
high use area. Yes,
Yep.
this was in a kitchen used by 2 people most of the time, and and it was new.
My question about the cabinets are, there's no drawer.
Correct. We could, I think it'll be a little bit difficult again because of trying to get a fridge in here. So we do need to meet ADA for the sink, and that really squeezes the width of a drawer. We could get one in here, but we felt that this is, you know, already a compromised, let's say, kitchenette in the sense that it doesn't afford you a lot of space, and we thought maximizing storage by just having shelving. If you were to store things like cutlery or silverware, I should say, that you know, that you could use kind of retrofit plastic pull-out drawers potentially, or at least storage kind of
Containers.
You could do that one is 15 inches on the left there.
No.
What was that?
it got smaller in the end, so I think it's closer to 11.
11 inches.
Yeah.
It could have one of those stand-up plastic things that rolls out that has
Oh, I see,
shelves
like
in
a
it.
spice thing.
like
only
a spice
for-
rack,
Right.
like, yeah,
Only not for spices.
who knows spices, I mean, yeah.
And remember, and then, so that cabinet, and my recollection, Dominic, is that there's some space that the door is narrower than the actual space, is that right?
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So we did have to accommodate structure.
Right.
I don't have a plan, unfortunately, but you do actually have interior space. So if you can see my cursor, it might actually be a little bigger than this. I think you have at least 4 inches or so.
Because you couldn't.
Well, we use plastic most of the time anyway, right?
Well,
We're not gonna really have cutlery.
We're not gonna have a dishwasher, we're not gonna have a lot of cutlery, we're not gonna be like using things like potato mashers and all of that kind of stuff.
Right, and we.
And you have other storage areas.
Right.
Well, but
Yes.
ADA compliant, we do not have storage area under the sink.
Yeah, that I
Right.
understand.
Okay. All right,
At all?
No, because you have to be able to
You
wheel
could use the back wall of it,
the back wall of it
like hang
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. Go all the way.
all the way in to be able to wash.
Yeah.
But for practical purposes, the amount that we're going to be using this,
It's actually probably less than a.
We're gonna have a coffee maker on the counter and that's it.
Right.
Just a lot.
with the espresso machine.
And the teapot.
This is great. Okay, any
Great.
other questions in the kitchen? Moving on.
And lastly, I wanted to bring up the service desk, the circulation desk. So here we're looking back at that. The entry into the building is beyond here. You can see the meeting room in the distance. This is a millwork piece that's considered with self-checkout, staff printing here, and you have the adults computer station. This is all millwork, going to be finished in the maple veneer. We wanted to highlight the circulation desk with this solid surface countertop. It's an all flat surface to give you the most flexibility for staff to use that. Not shown in this rendering, we do have a pop-up outlet, so a grommet, so that you can get power to the top here for a computer. You also have that at these stations here at the printer and self-check and computers. So in front of you, you'll see a Corian silver light sample. I believe this is going to be, I think it's 1.5 inches thick. And hard wearing, we again use that on all our projects, and we see longevity. It's a great product for countertops. We're going to have maple tongue and groove slats that are vertical, that are going to finish the face of this circulation desk. So again, bringing in the warmth of wood, throughout the project. And we have color on the walls, and we felt like, that there could be potential to have color here on the countertop, but we like the gray. We like, it's a lighter gray, and I think, works well with the flooring finishes, somewhat neutral, and great solution for this circulation desk.
Questions?
I think that's, oh, I'm sorry, I had this image here as well. Wanted to give you an example. This is from the Norwell Public Library, and the same color actually that you see in front of you there. So with a similar finish in the vertical tongue and groove siding, let's say, for the circulation desk.
Great. We're excited.
Yeah.
Nice. That was it for finishes at this stage. I think the next step for us would be to start vetting color schemes for the paint, and we would look to have a few options for all of the spaces, and final selections wouldn't be made until we actually have drywall in the building, and lighting in the building. Maybe not the all of the lighting that's actually going to be in the building wired yet and live, but at least have construction lighting in to approximate what the final lighting would be like. And we would walk through with Elaine and Marianne, and look at paint draws and make selections that way. But we're still vetting what the 3 different colors could be for these different spaces. So that's kind of the last of the finishes as we're going through submittals.
This was the kind of palette scheme that we were talking about.
Correct.
With children's room being a yellow, the adults room being more of a sienna, mauve subdued look, and then a green hazily kind of seagrass
Yes.
look for the entryway. And remember, this is in the in the entryway and the adult room, that's only one side. The other side, the other wall is going to be the shelving and white.
That's correct. I'm sorry, I
Children's-
didn't have any images of that for today.
That's okay. The children's room has more yellow walls going on it. So it's more colorful. It doesn't have white. And the colors, we've been talking about how the colors are going to bleed into the teen room and into the adult reading room, etc. And we're gonna work from there, so that they blend and carry through the building.
That's right. The concept is that there's a ribbon of color that works its way through the eastern spaces, the lower ceiling height, and they play against the opposite west wall, which is all white, as Elaine was saying. Yeah.
Dominic, are you gonna, what's the proposed finish for the glue lamps and the roof decking?
Inside, there will be no finish. Yep. So all the exterior will get a clear coat, clear seal coat, no stain. So we just celebrate the natural finish. And on the interior, there's no need for finishing.
No, nothing at all? No,
Correct.
no finish oil or anything like that?
That's correct. Nothing. Yep.
Great. Are there any other questions from the committee, from Heather, Andrea? Okay. Do we have any subcommittee reports? Anyone? Penny, do you have anything?
No, but I had a great time in the Galapagos.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, we needed that.
Marianne, do you have anything to report on?
I do.
Okay.
Let's see, what do I have to report on? The select board has signed an easement with National Grid. And then there had to be a poll hearing for the poll, and that happened and the poll has been approved. So, so we can have power. Let's see, the select board has signed an updated contract with the MVP folks.
Right.
So that we could release the solar designers to design the battery storage system and start the application process for connectivity and the application process for different incentives. So Dominic will be getting that design from the solar designers, and then we'll get a change order from, so the CDI will tell us how much it's gonna actually cost too. But the MVP folks are giving us a little more money, which is good for the batteries than they were gonna give us for the pickup truck. Let's see,
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Did you say that the MVP grant has been approved for the next stage to pursue this?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
They've approved us changing from the pickup truck to the solar batteries. And the select board has signed an updated contract with the MVP folks. So, and then we'll get and so then the next step is Construction Dynamics will give us a price on having it installed. So how long do you think that will take, Dominic?
Before we get numbers from CDI, that's a good question. We're trying to assist them in any way we can, our engineers, to give them all the information, basis for design for the battery systems that we're proposing in our drawings. It's tough to say at this point, Neil. I would expect it's going to take a month. I would say. I think they need to see the drawings before they can vet it with their electrician, be filed sub-bid. Their electrician may need to sub it out to a specialist. I don't know if the actual electrician will do it. So, yeah, it's tough to say, but we'd love to see this expedited, so everybody can understand, where we stand.
Yeah, so, right, so it'll be, we'll update the committee as that information comes in. But this is an improvement to the project.
Oh, yeah.
So, which is great. And let's see, there was one other thing. I have a grant that, I have $5,500 that I can use for furniture for teens and tweens. It has to be spent by March 31st. So I ordered, some chairs for, the team room. They're called rock and stack chairs. They're from Scholarcraft. And they are something that Elaine and Molly and Penny and I have seen at the MAGC Expo and sat in and enjoyed. And what's really great about them is they stack, so it can be 2 chairs. So I ordered 4 chairs, but 4 chairs can be 2 chairs. You can just stack them on top of each other, and then if more teams are around, they can pull them apart and then have 4 chairs. So those are fun. Molly is holding up a picture for folks to see.
Not in that color.
Cool.
And I
Okay.
ordered
What
a
color
couple
did
of
we,
tables.
What color
They're-
did we choose?
They're
There's like
bluish.
a bluish,
Yeah,
couple bluish ones and a couple gray ones.
yeah, bluish and grayish. We got 2 of each. We picked 2 colors. We had to move fast. They're not gonna have racing stripes.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a solid.
So they're gonna be solid. It's kind of like a heathery kind of thing. And then there are 2 tables in the children's room, and I was able to order tables. Dominic had given me the sizes, so I ordered tables. One's lower, one's higher. They're just, one's a rectangle, one's a square. They have all kinds of fancy shapes out there, but none of the fancy shapes really worked in the
No amoebas
spaces.
for us.
And we tried to make them work. And then I am expecting, so we need 2 kind of counter chairs in the team room, and we need 2 table chairs. We have chairs that Molly picked up from another library. They're these maple chairs for the lower table. But we need 2 sort of regular size chairs, like this size chair for the square table in the children's room. So I'm gonna have a quote on those tomorrow. And then I'll just order them. And then I bought a flat screen TV for the wall in the team room. And iPads and Chromebooks and, which is fun, but that's outside. But anyway, so it's nice to have that. The flat screen TV is in my garage.
It's going in the,
It might, yeah.
but then you can put it in the
I
trailer.
put it in the trailer. I asked if they could install it in the team room now. They didn't think they would. So, okay. And then the counter in the team room has some space that we didn't plan for. And I don't know how we missed that spot, Dominic, because we found little nooks and crannies everywhere there were. But anyway, I can get, I'm looking for little, cabinets that I can, or storage containers or storage carts that I can put in those spaces under the counter.
Under the counter.
Yes, yeah, so Dominic measured it out, so I know exactly how high and exactly how wide things can be. And the grant should pay for that too. And then I should be able to get some, floor cushions, so for like story time or just
Yeah,
kids
that
sitting
we were
around.
sitting on.
And then the ones with the backs that flip up, so I should be able to get some of those, and so I'm just sort of waiting for the chair quote, so then I know how much money I have left, so I know how many of those floor cushions I can order from Lake Shore. So they have floor cushions that are just flat, and they have floor cushions with pop-up backs. And so there are people who aren't comfortable sitting without their back supported, even children. And, so it just makes, it makes more sense to get these floor cushions with the pop-up backs. And there'll be something that can stack and be tucked in a corner of a storage closet. Or something, but I think they'll get a lot of use. And there's something that could come out like for a movie night and things like that too. So this is really kind of fun to be buying this
Very fun.
stuff. Yes, yeah, so, yeah, and then I'm still working on getting shelving quotes. I still have only 1 quote.
Still.
Yes, I reached out to another company. They're supposed to have something to me by tomorrow. And then we'll have 2, that I spoke to two other companies, neither one of them has come through despite speaking to them both twice. So I don't know what it
Too
is.
small?
I don't know. I don't know what the problem is, but we do have one quote and this one company that I spoke to, it's Tucker. I do think they're gonna come through.
Oh, they haven't yet.
They haven't yet, but I just spoke to them last week. So anyway, so I'm working on,
Weren't people
Yeah,
having
yeah.
problems with Tucker? Heather or Andrea, do you know?
So I think it's been resolved
Yeah.
from what I've heard. I think it was a moment in time, probably around October of 2023, that they were experiencing some issues, but I have not heard any complaints since around that time frame.
and when I first started reaching out, I didn't reach out to them because their website was down. And so they might have been going through some restructuring or something, but their website's back up and running. And they were very responsive. So we'll see if they actually come through with a quote. And then I just noticed, Dominic, in the picture with the circulation desk, that there's shelving behind the circulation desk, which of course I knew. And is that in those files that you sent me?
Like
That's-
if we
Yes.
get that in what we already
Yes.
have.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so I don't remember when talking to the different shelving vendors, talking about that spot, but that's okay, it could just be that I just don't remember it. But when I get shelving quotes, Dominic, you have volunteered.
We
to
can
look
sit
those.
down for sure.
That's
Okay.
helpful.
Good, okay, good. So, and then I want to get this furniture bought because I have the grant, and then the shelving figured out, and then we can figure out other,
So will they
Okay.
hold the furniture for you, or do you need to have them deliver it?
oh no, it's gonna be delivered.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have a room
Okay,
that we could
good.
put it in.
All right, excellent, okay, all
I
right.
could put something in the Rotown News.
Okay.
Asking for space.
I remember Jeff Lacy saying that he could store things up at the top of the barn.
I know.
He's
Yes.
gone now.
My daughter's bedroom has library furniture in it.
I have
Yeah.
a drum room that
Right,
no
okay.
longer has drums in it.
Okay, good, all right, yes, okay, good. So
All right, anything else?
that's all I can think of.
I can't think of anything else either. And therefore, do I hear, let's see, we need to schedule our next meeting. Let's put it on the calendar and we might
And
change
let's
it.
not schedule for Tuesday.
Let's
pick a
not
different
schedule
night.
for a Tuesday.
Okay.
We're having trouble with the meeting at the same time as the select board.
I don't.
Darn
think-
select
Okay.
board.
Darn select board. How does the 27th of March being a Thursday
I'll be out.
of the country or,
I'll be heading to Michigan that day.
okay? The 26th, would that be better?
Isn't that a Tuesday?
No, that's a Wednesday.
Oh, all right.
I like Wednesday better than Thursday, I personally.
So the 26th?
I could do the 20th.
Are there other groups that regularly meet on Wednesdays?
I will.
It's just the select board that
Yeah.
uses this room and the owl.
Right,
It's just library, so far it's just library committees from the select board
right.
that do this, so.
And
and the select-
FinCom is Tuesdays.
Yeah, but they don't
Right.
meet in person,
Right.
so, so
So-
March,
March 26th, Wednesday
7?
at 7. Is everybody good with 7?
Yes.
Yeah. Please,
Heather, Andrea, Neil.
7 PM, okay.
March 26th at 7 works.
Yep,
Yep.
same for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
March 26th at 7.
That was easy.
That sure was. I love this committee.
Thank
We're
you.
so easy.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn, Mrs. Brown.
I'll
Second,
second it, Stephen,
Roll call vote?
Antonella's eye.
down the side.
Foster, aye.
Pool eye.
Jakes, aye.
Moss eye.
Valeo, aye. Thank you all very much.
Thanks very much,
you.
everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And we'll see you at the end of March Andrea and Heather, you can come on out and join us for the walkthrough.
That would be
Okay.
great.
Cool.
Okay,
All
right.
all right, thanks.
Let us know the
care.
date of that. So that,
Okay, we sure
All
will.
right.
thank
thanks.
you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.